right, great. Which one is? Oh, look who's back there. It's Priscilla. Britsy's over there. You can't see her, of course. I just put cat trees everywhere. They can just jump from one cat tree to the other. Okay, so what is your job in Astral? Which is kind of interesting to get that type of title out. That's not something I would normally tap into. It just came to mind. So we'll just leave that open. And we humanize a lot of things too, but there might be something there that's worth connecting to. It might be more complicated, you might realize, but whatever you need to, whatever that's necessary to bring in to your incarnation here with your knowledge base. Also, Lost Earth Abyss. I had to do another one of those. Yeah. Yeah, the tunnel of love. That's what this planet is. Yeah, why do so many incarnate here say they're positive and they keep going backwards in life? Yeah, it's up. It's your journey. Define it however you want to. Not that everybody's doing that, but quite a few are. It seems to be very popular these days, or all days, all throughout incarnation cycles. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna go into all that. So I forgot the subject matter I was looking into a little bit more than usual. I could go into the cats and the reptilian energies. And it's funny that humans are not that connected. Obviously, if your soul is connected to canines, but I guess DNA, I think there might be some connections there, but not a whole lot with the canines. With the mouse, we're very connected to. There's a detail. I have to look it up. I look at the iPad notes on it because they're always doing, they're using mice to figure things out about us, obviously, and of course we're very connected to the apes, the orangutan. I think also the gorilla. And, it's on how you want to look at it. I mean, I think the human was already like we are our own thing. Like we might have a relation with the gorillas, but we are our own entity. Depending on how you look at it. If you had incarnations where humans evolved from apes, and then they add some cat energies and so on. So it's all a big, giant size experiment. However you want to look at it, whatever works for you. It's still different for everyone. I mean, yeah, it's just the canine. I forget. I think there's a connection. Some I don't know. We're more connected to the cats and the reptilians and the canines. So I'll have to look at that some other anyway. Whenever I remember to bring that up. But the astral energies, I don't know if it's even all that important to tap into this, but some people might need it for whatever reason. We're a ground crew. Those of you that are aware of your ground crew connections, of course, technically, I guess everybody is to some level. You might come from some. So I guess some people come from a boring human world, and then they come here. Maybe this is the most exciting place they've ever been to. Gosh, if that's the case. Of course, anyway, was a whatever her name is, Trump. I forget whatever the daughter's name is. I don't remember her name. But, she said, if your life is boring, you're boring. But then again, this is somebody that's super wealthy and whatever. A lot of stuff she does is pretty boring, actually, but whatever. It's the pretty people. I'm trying to shut something down, but Oh yeah. Guess I can't shut it down. Huh. Anyway, I guess I should have did this some other time. It's weird. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I forget her name. It's Trump's daughter. I don't really care. Yuck. Oh yeah, with Biden, he's staying alive. I think there's some kind of magic rituals going on. If he's staying in office, is a high possibility of him winning. If he's like a corpse, like half dead, he only has a couple more months, well, until November. If he can stay alive till then, if he keeps fumbling and everything, he can still win, which is kind of messed up. Nothing's for sure, but there's something about that. So that's another reason why he wants to stay in. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? So many people have given away their power. It really does not matter at this point, now does it? Even if they're spiritually aware, how many have given away their power? So, yeah, but they're not aware of that, apparently. Yeah, it's kind of sad out there, actually. Oh, man. Okay, good. I think this will work. I changed things around back here in the back end. It should be okay. You should be able to hear me still. I'm sorry, comment prep sessions. Maybe. We have a scheduler. We have a shop here. Yeah, so job and Astral. What does that to bring that in? Because I'm not getting, I don't know. It's so different for everybody, obviously. Okay, we'll go into that and the Lost Earth. Maybe we'll go into the ape energies or human origins. Kind of go into that a little bit again. So, right. Yeah, there's something yesterday about the felines and the reptilians. The felines have their issues too. It's not just reptilians. So both have their own thing going on. So, yeah, they just combined them for whatever reason. So, it makes things more challenging here. You can say that's one of the reasons why this world is the way it is. It's because it took those two elements and put them together, and now you have a chaotic planet. So anyway, all right, we're going to the astral job energies, going to spirit frequencies, and move on from there. All right, blessings. Greens to you. We have the energies from astral. Job is well. Something. I mean, we have themes. There are family themes currently going on. There are lonely themes. So is it a job? It's more like your what you are exploring or what you have to be here. What characteristics you need here in this reality. There is an angelic job. It's not necessarily called a job. Yes, that's a third dimensional word, really. Is your life's goal, your soul? There's words here there's words that don't even exist on your planet for us to even describe what you are signed up for. But in the astral realms or the higher spirits, whatever you want to call it, the soul journey is basically how to improve yourself and how long does it take. So, like on this planet, yes, here as human, you might say, "Oh, I'm here on my last life, and this is it." But when you go back in the astral, it's like I have like 20 more lives to go through to get to where I'm trying to achieve. So you might be telling yourself one thing, but you're living another. But that's nothing. You can think wherever you want. That's fine. It's not an imprisonment. It is the soul achievement is it goes beyond words you can say. But yes, many do get pulled into the lower frequencies here, as you can see, and slow down drastically. And is because it's such a opposite from where you came from, depending. It's hard to predict where this life's going to go in the higher dimensions. So, coming here, many just find their darkness, as some of you have noticed. Not everyone has fallen too far, but even the term fallen angel, well, it's not necessarily fallen angel, it's like, but you can fall back. That doesn't mean fall back completely, but basically you can slow things down. Yes, it might not. Well, you have a change of plans when you incarnate, as some of you have noticed that. It's not necessarily a wrong thing. It's just that, there's a lot of soul discovery to go into. Like you're going self examinations, what you have to go through, no matter how long it takes. There's no rules of anything really, of right or wrong. It's really up to you what you want to achieve for yourself. So it is a beautiful thing. It's not a easy thing, but to go into one's darkness or shadow or however you want to word it is much necessary. So your job in Astral can be very simple. It's like, what's my job? To figure myself out. Who am I? What is this? What am I? It's like, you can incarnate as a flower consciousness, a tree, a planet. But have you really discovered who you really are, like your fullest potential, like what you are as a being overall? Like you make it as you go. But it's like, yeah, you can say technically you kind of create your job. Like some of you, some people might go into the medical field. Obviously, some of that's just for income purposes. Doesn't mean that's what you really want to do. And some of you feel like you might have a military galactic commander position in some other reality. But once again, it's not necessarily your theme here, or theme overall, but it is something you need to go through to figure yourself out and to unlock your highest potential. Even as a spirit being, it's unlocking your talents. There's multiple talents, of course, but are you willing to go through the difficulties to get there? Being a military officer is fine and great and everything, but being like a lonely artist where no one understands you is even harder, actually. When you're not misunderstood, when you're sharing who you are to others through your creative forces, or through music or whatever it might be, and then what you receive back is not always complimentary. So and that can be on anything that you create, a craftsman, whatever it might be. So is this basically, it's like you're cracking, you go against, like you allow yourself to be you, even if everyone else has an issue with it. But and you just realize, like, how do you find yourself? Well, if not everyone, some people, as you can see, they go with who's patting them on the back, and there's nothing wrong with that. But where all your friends are, there's nothing wrong with that. But eventually, throughout your soul evolution, you're going to go against that and just, okay, I'm going to be myself. I might lose all my friends. I might lose. It doesn't mean it has to be a negative, right? It can be like whatever it might be, become a musician, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be even that, but it doesn't mean you have to have this social engagement. It's just you're finally figuring yourself out, and yeah, it's controversial to some level, but whatever it might be, everyone's different. It takes time to get to that level. Even like spiritual aware, or even if you go like some spirituality and you have such a radical way of looking at things, it might not be getting the attention that you feel like you deserve, or whatever it might be. So it's just doesn't mean you're wrong. Sometimes there's a whole other journey there. Some, as you see, some spiritualists are going by what the people want, but that's not necessarily the right thing for them or for anyone. But that's up to one's choice. But if you're giving them medicine or giving healing frequency, it's not always what people want to hear. And that's for the best. And self-reflect. And there are many that are stuck in a cycle. They just do the same things, and you go where it's safe. not quite ready to connect more to the radical side of themselves. Now, if you have a lot of vices and you are opening, just completely open-minded, then yeah, you can be not necessarily as a version of being too open-minded, but the vices can get kind of overwhelming, especially when it kind of just drugs and you know overwhelming of that frequency at least. So, once again, your job in general is you just let it come to mind what it is. Whatever you need to know at that moment, let's put that, because it can change over time. Yes, you can change jobs on a daily basis depending on who you are. So, brings to you is the higher earth consciousness. You say it's a Father Earth, also a Mother Earth frequency. You say this is all Earths. Basically, this world has a lot of trickster frequencies here that obviously the universe is not quite understood or healed from as of yet. Many incarnate here, not necessarily give up on themselves, but allow their darkness to become more of them or be overwhelmed. It is hard, it's hard to go into yourself and the peer pressure frequency. uh you'd be surprised how many lie to themselves also. But basically just becoming more independent is difficult. More difficult than you might realize. Yes, there could be some loneliness connected to that also, but you'd be surprised. Basically it's kind of like being real with yourself. And some might say they're being real with themselves, but obviously that's not always well. Yeah. It's so many incarnate here that they don't have inner peace. There's an inner, and they might not even realize it. They're not at the point to really release inner bitterness, anger, whatever it might be. They go by what other people think they should be. That's very common here, as you can see. Even with comedy, of all things, in your modern world, it's becoming more what people expect. But the idea is to be unexpected. This doesn't necessarily have to be a negative of that, but the idea is to even surprise yourself, which is a big deal. So it's just basically and not everyone's ready for that either. So it's basically, surprising yourself or just be truly being real with yourself. It might hurt connecting to that for some. Because then you have to let go of all the BS you told other people, even themselves. You have to cut your cord of this persona that you think other people need and want and connect more to yourself. And yes, maybe it is a boring version of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Boring is like another way of just cutting agendas out of your frequency and doing an energy reset. Not necessarily boring. It's just maybe not interesting to anyone else. But if you find your incarnation, maybe not too exciting, but you find it is where it needs to be, and it's not boring at all, really. Not really. It all depends how you define it. I mean, you might want to call it that, but it's not necessarily. It's the soul discovery. You're in this environment, yes, a world that is, yes, out of its mind. But it doesn't mean you have to follow that. Some do, obviously, and it's not what it's cracked up to be. Yes, many do downgrade themselves to be like everyone else when you have potential to evolve and be, yes, very different, as some of you are already in that path. And you can even get more different too. Well, some of you are actually probably receiving like radical. I mean, this isn't trickster frequency. You're just seeing things much differently. And you might not find it on the internet anymore, which makes it even more difficult. It's like, how do I relate to anybody? But it's kind of like, well, maybe you are here the one to bring that information here to this reality, wherever it might be, even if only a few people would connect to it, because there might be only a few of you here from that collective. And so, but it is really important to connect to your individual self it just put that intentions out there. And if you're being real with yourself and people aren't okay with that, or well, that's their deal. As long as you're okay with it, as long as you're okay with your path, that's all that matters. But everyone else does not matter. And you'd be surprised how many are not really. So there's a lot of people here that have cut themselves off to be part of society, but they're not ready to really connect to their fullest potential as of yet. It's just not. You'd be surprised. It's good because once again, the backlash you get from society. It's like, you ready for that, or you rather just play low key, take your time. There's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with just taking your time. It's like you do what's right for you, because you not that your guys usually protect you from you know going beyond what further than where you're ready at. It's good to be where you actually need to be. But yeah, some do get kind of you know they don't move at all. They might feel like might be spiritually evolved, but then they're not being curious as they could be. So there's that too. So you get too comfortable. There's a lot of that. And yeah. Well, it's basically allowing your mind, your intuition, just go ahead and be wild. But not everyone's ready for that. It's like you can't deal with these bizarre realities, and who can you talk to about it? So why bother? So you can shut it down. So it's just the abyss planet here is just, well, you can say the reptilians built a lot of the human points of view or the mindsets they're part of it, because the felines more outgoing, but the reptilians here that are kind of controlling, not all of them are, some of them are. You want to see if you get past their borders that they created in the mind. And yes, you feel free to be whoever you want, but are you willing to go there? And yes, you can get energy attacks and whatever else that's there, because you're going outside of, you can say, the matrix of the belief systems here. And yes, it's like you're kind of like the phoenix. You're dying and being reborn. Now, when you're ready for, but it's those that are ready for it can shut down and just not be ready for it. Like they're ready, but they don't want to do it. There's a lot of that going on too. It's not a huge percent, but there is a lot, many that can evolve further but choose not to. Now, there's reasons for that, like family. It's almost like you can have reasonable, sometimes. Well, you tell it to yourself, and it's a self. It's for self anyway. It's really what you feel comfortable with, but like if you hold yourself back, realize, you're holding yourself back. However you feel about that. Going forward is not so easy. Yes, your intuition can be blocked. It can be attacked, it can be whatever it is, but at least you're becoming more independent. You're going more into yourself. Bringing in self-love also, that has a lot to do with it. And balancing self-love, yourself, your truthful with yourself, it goes on and on. But you're just not worried about the collective consciousness at all, the voice systems here. So like I say, the matrix is a voice system, really. So we'll just leave that.